Greetings and welcome to Simmer's Morning Skate from Spreads.ca. It is, as always, a Spreads.ca game day. Each and every time a Canadian hockey club from the National Hockey League plays a game, regular season or postseason, we'll have some valuable information for you right here and some special offers from Spreads.ca. If you want to play hockey, play it with Spreads.ca. Let's talk about what's going on here on Saturday, April 2nd. There are 4 games involving Canadian-based hockey clubs, and we begin with the Los Angeles Kings visiting the Winnipeg Jets. Yes, the Jets being the Canadian-based team and looking for a home victory. They've been pretty good as of late, 7-3 in their last 10 hockey games and a decent 6 games above 500 mark at home this season. Connor Hellebuck will get the nod tonight, and it looks like it'll be Cal Peterson going for the Los Angeles Kings. Big game for both. Kind of a desperate Winnipeg team that's been sneaking up the Western Conference standings, trying to pop into a little wild card spot. They've got 76 points right now, 3 behind Dallas and 4 behind Vegas. The Golden Knights are the team right now slotted in that second wild card position. But the Kings, they've got plenty to play for as well. They're in second place in the Pacific Division, so they're going to try to get after this as well. Surprisingly, a little bit, it's actually a goal and a half mark on this hockey game. The Kings are getting a goal and a half on the road at Winnipeg, and if it was up to me, I'm kind of leaning a little bit towards the Cali kids in this one. So we'll see what happens. Over under is 6. I think it's going to probably end up right around that number, but in this case, I'm leaning more towards taking the Los Angeles Kings. St. Louis Blues at the Calgary Flames. Now, this is interesting. The Blues are playing their 3rd game in 4 nights. They lost. They had a comeback after being down 4-1 in the first period to the Edmonton Oilers on Friday night. Came back, tied it, lost in overtime 6-5. The goalie that started, Jordan Binnington, got yanked after 13 and a half minutes in the first period. So Ville Husso, who's been the workhorse lately, had to come in and basically play, well, the last, do the math here, 47 minutes of the hockey game. So an interesting choice for Coach Craig Berube. Maybe he comes back with Binnington again to give his main man a rest, or he doesn't want to send that message to his team. He wants to start with some confidence tonight in Calgary. Calgary lost Sean Monahan to hip surgery. He'll be out and miss the rest of the regular season and the playoffs. But he had dropped down to basically a 4th-line role. So it's a good thing that general manager Brad Treleving added some depth. Calle Yarncroke at the trade deadline, playing the middle on the 3rd line. So Calgary is just kind of still rolling along. They're giving up a goal and a half in this game. Kind of depends sometimes on which St. Louis Blues club will show up. But the Blues are in 3rd place in the Central Division. They're holding a spot right now with 84 points, but that's only 2 ahead of Nashville, which is the top wild card position. So they're feeling pretty good, but there are no nights off right now, especially for that team in 3rd place in the division. So this will be interesting, but I'm going to definitely kind of lean Flames here with St. Louis playing a 3rd game in 4 nights in the western portion of Canada. And of course, Calgary playing on Hockey Night in Canada. It's Brian Elliott, by the way. Actually, not Brian Elliott. I'm getting ahead of myself in the next game. I just talked about the goaltenders for St. Louis. For Calgary, we probably should see Jacob Markstrom. So good for them. Now, getting ahead to where I was, Jake Allen against Brian Elliott in the Montreal Tampa Bay game. I kind of like the Habs for whatever reason in this. Head coach Marty St. Louis going back to Tampa, who, by the way, is playing back-to-back home games on back-to-back nights. It's one of those weird little quirks where, coming out of the COVID rearrangement, the Olympic cancellation rearrangement, that they're playing back-to-back home games on back-to-back nights. They took care of Chicago last night, 5-2. The Habs have the least amount of points in the National Hockey League, tied for the least, 47. So they're awful, but they should be motivated here. And they're getting heaps of money on the line, plus 255 to plus 265 if you decide to go in that direction. Maybe take a little flyer on the Habs tonight, going back home, showing some pride for their head coach, Marty St. Louis, Hockey Hall of Famer, who, of course, spent a great majority of his career and won a Stanley Cup in Tampa. So intangibles factoring into this one a little bit. 6.5 is the over-under. Woo! You could have some fun with that one tonight for sure, with Elliott against Allen. Finally, it's Toronto at Philadelphia. The big news here, after 989 consecutive games, Keith Yandle, the defenseman, the new record holder for NHL Ironman, is getting sat. End of the streak. So it appears that Phil Kessel will eventually take that spot as the all-time leader in terms of consecutive games played. He's got a little bit to go, probably, I don't know, 20, 30 games probably in the next season. Carter Hart will get the start for Philadelphia against Jack Campbell. So Peter Mrazek for Toronto, out, groin injury, gone for weeks and weeks. Man, I don't want to get ahead of myself here, but the Leafs are just setting themselves up for failure for the postseason. Eric Kallgren, a Swede who's 25 years old, who has 7 games of NHL experience, is now the backup for Jack Campbell, who has a history of kind of folding a little bit in big games. If you go back to his World Juniors days with Team USA. So, man, trouble. And guess who's going to get blamed? Kyle Dubas, the general manager. Dubas didn't go out and get a goalie. And everybody said, you got to go out and get a goalie. And guess what? Mrazek gets hurt. Now they're down to Campbell. Anyway, that's getting ahead of ourselves a little bit, big picture, but something to think about as you play down the road. But right now it's 1.5, Philly getting a goal and a half at home against Toronto. And despite of all what I just said, Flyers are a bit of a mess. And I think the Leafs should take care of business. I think this will be an opportunity for Austin Matthews to add to his NHL league leading goal total. Get over that 50. He's already at 50. Let's see how far he can take it tonight in Philadelphia. That's it. Hey, click on multiple languages, spreads.ca. Take advantage of what they have to offer, because this is where you want to play. And it's also where you want to listen to Simmer's Morning Skate for all the information that you need. We'll see you next time.